Understanding Spoken English, Silent H, Lesson 1A.
Hi, my name is Stacy Hagan. I'm an ESL teacher and I write textbooks for English language learners. Welcome to my lesson on Silent H.
A while ago I took a trip to Disneyland. If you watched my lesson on tag questions, you know that I got to meet some of the characters. Two of them were Minnie and Mickey Mouse. Here are some things I found out about them. Listen carefully. There will be no subtitles for this next part. I'm going to talk at normal speed. It may sound fast to you. Minnie and Mickey. I had always thought that Minnie and Mickey were married, but actually they are still boyfriend and girlfriend after more than 75 years. At Disneyland, both of them live in Toontown. Mickey has his own house and Minnie lives next to him. Minnie was his first love, and he still adores her. She takes good care of him, and of course he takes good care of her. By the way, Mickey wasn't his original name. Walt Disney first named him Mortimer, but his wife suggested Mickey. I think he looks more like a Mickey than a Mortimer. Don't you?
Did you understand everything I said? There were several words in my sentences that began with H. Many of these words were unstressed. When words that begin with H are unstressed, we often drop the H. I call this silent H. Let's look at these words.
In spoken English, the words below are generally unstressed and H is dropped. He becomes E. His becomes is. Her becomes Him becomes im or They sound almost the same. It's very difficult to tell the difference. By the way, them also has the same pronunciation, im or We will look at this later in an exercise. Finally, had becomes ud when had is a helping verb.
These words are short and can be very difficult to hear. Remember the story I told you about Minnie and Mickey? Now let's look at each sentence individually.
I had always thought that Mickey and Minnie were married, but actually they are still boyfriend and girlfriend after more than 75 years. I had becomes I'd. Had here is not the main verb. It's a helping verb, so it's unstressed. I'd. At Disneyland, both of them live in Toontown. Of them can be of 'em or of him. You can say or im. In this case, I said People say both. It's very hard to hear the difference. They sound almost the same. Mickey has his own house and Minnie lives next to him. Has his becomes has his. We keep the H in has because has is the main verb and it's stressed. But the H in his is silent. Has is. For to him, I said to him. Remember, you can say or im. I chose to say Minnie was his first love. Was his becomes was his. And he still adores her. And he becomes Andy. Adores her becomes adores her. She takes good care of him. And of course he takes good care of her. Of him, I decided to say im, of him. Course he becomes coursey. Notice that her at the end of the sentence did not have a silent H because I said that word with stress. By the way, Mickey wasn't his original name. Walt Disney first named him Mortimer, but his wife suggested Mickey. Wasn't his becomes wasn't his. Named him becomes named him. But his becomes but is. I think he looks more like a Mickey than a Mortimer. Don't you? Think he becomes thinky.
Before we try an exercise, I want to mention one thing.
You just learned that H can be dropped with had. H can also be dropped in has and have when they are unstressed. You can study more about has and have in my lessons, Understanding Spoken English, Past Participles 1, and Understanding Spoken English, Past Participles 2.
Let's do an exercise. I'll say a sentence and you write the missing words.
Practice 1. Complete the sentences with he's, his, him, her, or them. At the office. Where's Jack? Number 1. I have no idea. I haven't seen him all morning. I have no idea. I haven't seen him all morning. Number 2. I think he's around here somewhere. I think he's around here somewhere. Number 3. Look in the cafeteria. You'll probably find him there. Look in the cafeteria. You'll probably find him there. Number 4. He's with Bob. I just saw them both getting into a taxi. He's with Bob. I just saw them both getting into a taxi. Number 5. I don't think he's come in yet. I don't think he's come in yet. Number 6. In his office, but he's in a meeting with his secretary. In his office, but he's in a meeting with his secretary. Number 7. He's with Nancy. They're in her office. He's with Nancy. They're in her office.
Let's check your answers.
Number 1. The answer is him. I have no idea. I haven't seen him all morning. Number 2. The answer's he's. I think he's around here somewhere. Number 3. The answer is him. Look in the cafeteria. You'll probably find him there. Number 4. The answer is them. He's with Bob. I just saw them both getting into a taxi. Did you notice the pronunciation with him and them is the same? But you know the answer is them because we're talking about two people and we have the word both. It's very important that you pay attention to the other words in the sentence to decide if the word is him or them. Number 5, the answer is he's. I don't think he's come in yet. Number 6, we have 3 answers. We have his, he's, and his. In his office, but he's in a meeting with his secretary. Number 7, the answer is her. He's with Nancy. They're in her office. This is the end of Silent H Lesson 1A. For additional practice, please watch Silent H Lesson 1B.